Si, do you know what time it is?
Hammer time. I don't know, 8 o'clock.
No, you dork. It's TUB Thumpers time. No, what time is it? Yeah, it's 8 o'clock. No, it's hammer time. What?
No.
What? Sorry, Si, this is a show you set up every week. It's called TUB Thumpers. Oh, brilliant. Hello. Welcome to TUB Thumpers. How are you, Si? How was your week been?
It's been good. I had a third of ZSR spend the weekend last weekend. We had a right laugh, meantime.
Yeah, romantic
weekend.
Really
funny.
Awesome.
It's just funny. It was like, you know, when you're like 15 and you've got your mates round that are sleeping over for at night and you just eat loads of crap and just play games and stupid stuff. I think that's what we was doing all night.
15-year-old boys, is that what it was? Like 15-year-old kids.
Test that his pile.
Did mum come to you always and say, shut up, shut up? You know what I mean? Did mum like
keep it down? No. I had a good laugh. It was good.
Yeah, we had I had Scuba here, I had Leslie here, I had G-Force here. We had a good weekend. It was a really good weekend. But anyway, we're not here to talk about the weekends. We're here to talk about our, let's see, part 9, Si. You know our guest is tonight, Si?
Yes, I do.
Right. Tonight, everyone, is Keith Knight. Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our pal. I can't wait for this. It's going to be a great 2 hours. Here he is. It's our Keith. Hey, how are you, buddy?
Hello, chaps.
How are you, mate?
Good to see so many people here tonight. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. We're nearly at 30 already. We've been on 2 minutes, so thank you all so much. So, Keith's here to show his stuff off. Brilliant. How have you been?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Yeah, I've been sort of doing my usual thing that I do all day, which is pretty much nothing, basically. Us retired types, you know. But I've just got to say, Simon was right. Si, you were absolutely right. It's hammer time, because don't forget, of course, come on, you hammers. So I was right.
No, but I don't really want to talk about hammer time to tell you, getting hammered 3-1 at home. So,
wow. To be honest, we blagged that, didn't we? That scoreline flattered us, but there you go.
Well, listen, I'm trying to convince this how good we are. We haven't even won a game in 2024. 13 games.
I think that was our first. Shabby. Oh yeah. So far, yeah.
Let's have a look who's come to see you. So we've got Cycle Hero here. Hiya, pal. Nice to see you. We got Kieran here. Hiya, Shabby. Hiya, Si. Keith Knight here. Hiya, Keith Knight. So yes. So we got Kieran asking, have you got any library books, Keith? Well, yeah, because of the fiasco last. I don't know. Did you see that last week with Adam? Did you see it? You know, I mean, what do you say about that? Stealing all those. What is it? Stealing all
library books.
We got Si.
Si.
Mr. Gerard's here. Hey, Gerard.
Mr. Kane.
Let's have a look. Oh, look who else is here. There goes my monetization. I always get it for Des, but I don't care. It's worth it. It just sounds so cool, doesn't it? Good old Des. Hello. Mr. Redmond's here. Hi, Jonathan.
Redders.
Oh, look who else we've got here. Good old DTM. Almost time to rifle through Keith's tubs. Hope you're all okay. Yeah, just so. I mean, I can't wait to see what Keith's got. And like I said, everyone we've had on so far showing different. And I know what Keith has, so this is going to be awesome. This is going to be really cool. Hey, DTM, have you calmed down from Sunday night? What happened to DTM Sunday night? What's he up to? Gerard, say hello to everybody. Claire P, do you know where, Si?
I know where.
Yeah.
He's having a good time in Italy.
So, Adam last week, Keith, said that he puts on aftershave to do a stream. What do you think to that?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. No, look, Adam's a top guy. Adam's an absolutely top guy.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say too much, but he used to work for one of the emergency services as a volunteer, and
Right.
so he's an absolutely top geezer. I mean, all right, let's face it, putting an aftershave on for a live stream is a bit fuck, you know. I mean, that's out there, isn't it? I mean, that's really out there. You know what I mean, Adam? Even for a Tottenham fan, that's out there, mate.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Even for Tottenham.
Adam, I love you, mate. He's such a generous, kind-hearted guy, and he's unbelievably handsome, and that pisses me off even more than him being a Tottenham fan.
Oh, Des. Oh, look who else is here. Connor's here. Hi, Connor.
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 Brilliant. Oh, we've also got somebody else here.
All right,
Good
Dave.
evening. Yeah, good evening, Vintage Toy Rush. Good to see you, pal. Miriam's here. This is awesome. Everybody's turned up. This is absolutely brilliant. Oh, Jason's here. Hi, Jace. Let's have a look. Adam, here we go. I'd like to report a crime. A man with similar features to Tom Cruise was seen leaving a library in Essex. Oh, brilliant, brilliant. Oh. Hi, Oppie. Nice to see you, pal. Good old Oppie's here. There's nothing like being prepared, and there's nothing like being prepared. Oh. Oh, look who else has made it. Good old Rob. Hi, Rob. Geek Strong. Oh.
You know?
Another Rob's here. Hi, Rob's Retro. Good to see you, pal. Everybody's turned up. Absolutely brilliant. Only one. Travels with Jason. What's he saying here? Keith, the matching man behind you look brilliant. Let's make Keith big a minute. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, look at them. All them matching man.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. That's fantastic. Yeah, all them.
And Pennywise, the dancing clown. That's the wife. That's the wife. I bought that for the wife for Christmas. But at the moment, we're still doing. I mean, this is not finished. This is the lounge or the front room or the living room. She's got her own office upstairs because she's a student nurse. So the spare room doubles up as her office, but it's also like what we call a horror room because she's a massive Stephen King fan. So I buy her like Stephen King stuff, like the action figures, like the 8-inch, and I bought her an 18-inch Mr. Barlow from Salem's Lot, and that's
Right.
the newest one out. That, I mean, you know, I had to sell both kidneys to buy that, but that is basically a life-size Pennywise, but obviously it's not life-size. It's about 4.5 feet tall, but it's it's monster. It's massive.
Yeah, it looks it. But those action men behind you, that just looks so good, all shelved like that in those details. It looks brilliant. It really does.
Yeah, I mean, I've collected. I've been a collector. There's a fine line between a collector and a hoarder, isn't there?
Massive. Yeah, yeah.
And I've been a collector stroke hoarder since I was a kid. I mean, it started off. I used to build the Airfix battleships, Airfix model ships.
Yeah.
I'd paint them all up. I'd paint them all up in their actual battle camouflage. Now, this is in the days before the internet, so I'd actually go to the library and borrow 1 or 2 books, maybe, and get the battle camouflage and all the battle colours. And so I had the Bismarck. I had all the most famous warships, and I had about 70 of them at one point. And then when I finally moved out to my mum and dad's house many years ago, I boot sold a lot. I literally went to a boot sale and boot sold the whole lot because I was moving in with my ex-partner, or at the time, you know, my girlfriend, now ex-partner, and she wouldn't have had any of that. She was not into that sort of thing at all. So I boot sold a lot. And then I sort of started collecting Vietnam War memorabilia because I got into that at school. I had all the M65 uniform, I had the M1 helmets, 2 of them. I had an M16 rifle, deactivated, of course, and various other, all kinds of patches and figures and bits and pieces. And of course, Full Metal Jacket was filmed over the Beckton Gasworks,
right,
which was just a 15-minute walk from where I grew up in Custom House in East London. And we used to walk over there and watch the filming. We couldn't get anywhere near it because obviously there was a big fence put around the gasworks. But you'd see the helicopters flying in like this red and blue livery because they were oil rig helicopters.
Yeah.
And they flew in, and then about 2 days later, they'd take off again, and they'd be green with Marines down the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And so after they'd finished filming, we'd go in there, and we found M16 cartridges and empty magazines and M16 rifle casings, blank casings and stuff like that. And oh yeah, it's fantastic. So I got right into the Vietnam War.
Right, awesome.
I've been on and off. I've been collecting since I was a child. And when I was coming towards the last couple of years of my police service, I started collecting police memorabilia. We had a thing that if we'd go abroad on holiday, we'd take a hat or a helmet, we'd smuggle it in our luggage, and then we'd go into the local police station and say, do you want to swap? You got anything you can swap? So I had like a couple of foreign police helmets and police hats.
So that's how you've got them all the because I've seen all the helmets and caps and stuff on your pictures.
Some I've bought from eBay. Some have been donated to me. I've got friends that are now retired, but they were still in the service at the time, so I can't mention their names. And they would send me their obsolete headgear. So I've got a Merseyside police motorcycle helmet, and I've got a 1972 Mersey Tunnels police black cap, which belongs to a very, very good mate of mine's great uncle, who was in the Mersey Tunnels police back in the 70s. So I ended up just accumulating this big police collection of police museums, I used to call it. I've got uniforms, I've got radios, I've got handcuffs, truncheons, and I used to collect the 43 scale die-cast cars. And at one point, I had about 900 of them, and I got rid of most of it because it was getting too much. When we moved house, I had never had the room in this new place, even though it's bigger than the old place. There's less room to disgrace. So I'm down to about 450 now. And of course, I used to do a lot myself. I used to buy the basic models and then strip them down, respray them, and then print my own decals because I can print my own decal. I'm like that Range Rover. You talked about that Range Rover.
Yeah, we're going to have a look at that later on. I can't wait to see that.
That's the decals for it that I've got.
Let me just make you bigger sec. Let's just have a look right there.
Unfortunately, one of the cats has already had a go at it. But that's the decals, and I can design all them and print all them myself. So, I've done that. I used to do that for the cars.
Yeah, hopefully you'll show some of your customs because I don't. You've heard us. We've talked about you for years on ZSR. Oh, you want to see what Keith's made now? You want to see what Keith's made now?
I know, you guys.
You make some absolutely fabulous. Oh, I can't help it though. I've always been a family of. It doesn't matter about YouTube to me about the YouTube thing. If you're in our community, you've got a talent or. I recommend everybody. I think your work is unbelievable. But anyway, Jonathan says here, Keith is very dapper. Was he sent some of Shabby's famous hair care products? Famous hair care products.
I normally have a number one skinhead, but it's getting a bit long, to be honest.
Look at him. Lost 10 viewers already talking about football. Oh, Mike, hi, Mike. I'm sitting with Adam now, and we've just found his bookshelf. Check all his books, Mike. Make sure they haven't got any library dockets in there and so forth. So let's have a look. Mates rates for Shabby Si. I tell you what, this honestly, look, it's looking nice. It's looking. I don't know. I didn't dye it again now, Si, because I was going to dye it again my hair, and I thought, I'll just make it look a bit darker. This will take me to the cleanest. I want a theme song. Oh yeah, we'll get you a theme. Don't you worry, mate. We'll definitely get you one. Let's have a look. I already know what my theme song is. Bloody hell, they don't want much of the hair care products theme songs. I tell you. Keith, you're too kind. Checks in the post for your kind words, mate. That's really nice of you, pal.
Adam from the heart, mate, from the heart.
I might have guessed Adam and Keith have met professionally. Yeah.
We haven't actually. We haven't, but we've discussed our sort of careers and stuff and our times on the
old YouTube
back in the old days of rescuing people and
And Jonathan says, Adam, maybe you should pay off some of those library fines before sending out any checks. Oh, brilliant. Hey, TJC, hiya, pal. That Pennywise is freaking out Mrs. Thompson. I'm
just keeping me around it, Mark, in case it goes like halfway through the show.
Yeah, it's a bit freaky, that thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm keeping me around it. His head might turn halfway through. Send the video to Nuke's Top 5.
All right, Stu's bloody quiz Sunday. Far too stressful, Des. All I can say is good. My money's on Des to win it. My money's on him. Oh, what's that? Let's have a look.
It's Johnny.
The missus has just handed me that. I bought her that as well the other year.
That's great, that.
Who made that?
It's Redmond Toys, 1/6 scale, so 12-inch figures. If you look through my photographs on Facebook, you'll see Jack Nicholson being arrested by a couple of British bobbies,
right,
for having his chopper out in public, which of course we don't like. We don't like that sort of behaviour in this country. We're British, don't you know?
That is awesome. That is brilliant. So we call them tub thumpers, and I ask every guest that comes on, I ask him every time, is it stuff you keep in the tubs? Is it stuff you just don't want to sell? You just don't want to throw out? It means something to you. Is that why you keep it, because there's some things that we don't, like I said, you've seen my room and everything else that you don't want to put out, but you don't want to let go either. Is that what it's like in your house too?
Yeah, I mean, sort of. I don't actually keep things in tubs in the true sense. I've got one tub which has been sitting under the bed for months, I think. And I'm not really all that sure what's in there. I can guess what's in there, but I shan't be opening the whole box on camera. I shall be fishing things out delicately, maybe with even wearing latex gloves if that's applicable.
Brilliant. I was fantastic.
Apart from the fact that it's been under our bed, and we also have 9 cats. I dread to think what's in there, but as you know, I'm building this. I've recently had this garden shed / garden house built. It's 20 foot by 10 foot, and it's huge. Got windows in it and everything. And I'm gonna have a Playmobil city in there.
How cool does that sound, Si?
All the tables. I'm gonna build it. I'm getting there very, very slowly. The weather's been a bit too inclement for me to be getting out there and doing stuff. But so, of course, all my Playmobil stuff that has accumulated for the last 2.5 years, that's been in all the rooms in the house, it's now out in the shed. So I haven't got tubs, but what I have got is cardboard boxes, or mainly, to be honest, cat food boxes. Boxes full of Playmobil stuff. So I brought a few of those in, and we can have a rifle through those. And I don't know what's in some of those because it's just all gone out there in the shed, and I've just picked up random boxes and brought them in. And I brought some other bits and pieces in as well that I know that you'll be interested in.
Awesome.
But this first tub, not really sure what's going to be in there. So,
well, we'll definitely have a look through it, mate. Definitely. Can't wait to go through it all. Let's just get down here a little bit more. Winsy, hey, Shabby Si, and all you lovely people. If you hear some crunching in the background, it's me eating Doritos and some mango chutney dip. Very nice.
Chutney dip.
Very nice. BOE, hiya, BOE. Nice to see you, pal.
Comrade.
Oh, Mr. Bulgy. So hopefully, Si, I'm trying to get hold of John Si so we can do a shed thumpers. Can you imagine doing John shed Si? So fingers crossed.
That'll have to be a one-off, that, because I've heard about this shed over these past 5 years. It's a magical shed, that. It's like Narnia. You walk in and you can walk out with anything you need from that shed.
Yeah. That's a very nice Jack Torrance figure, Keith.
Yeah.
If that Pennywise clown moves, then he shouts, Keith, watch out.
I knocked it a couple of weeks ago. I knocked it accidentally and it fell over. It does stand up on its own, but it obviously, because it's top heavy with really tiny feet, and it fell over and it scared the fucking shit out of me.
There we go.
Living daylights out of me. It frightened me very much. So.
My tugs are full of. That's what I mean, though. That's why we all keep them in it. You know, we keep little boxes of accessories and tubs of this and tubs of that. We'll do all sorts. You're exactly right, pal.
Well, I think that's a bloke thing, though. Anyway, isn't it? I think that's a man thing. Anyway, even if you're not a toy collector, that's a man thing. I mean, I've got a couple. There's a couple of cupboards out there in the sort of hallway, and in that cupboard, it's like. It's like a fucking booby trap. You open it and something falls out. Every time you open the door, something falls out on you. You know, it's one of those cupboards, booby trap.
You know, right there, because my brother Jamie, he doesn't really collect like I collect. But then I'll go around his house and I'll go into his garage, and it's like Mr. Miyagi's like, I mean, that guy from Gremlins in his shop.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm like, you obviously do, Jay. Whereas I've got like multiverse figures, you've got like 12 drills and 6 hammers.
Right. Our Jen will go down to the shed and she'll go, Shabby, you need to get rid of all this stuff. And I'm like, why? It's not in the way. And she goes, no, you're keeping it all, but you're not putting it. But then you'll go into my walk-in closet, and there's about 50 handbags that she never uses, all at the top. And I'm like, well, you need to get no, you can't get rid of them. And I'm like, it's the same thing. And you're trying to explain to your missus it's the same thing, but she's having none of it. Do you know what I mean? So no, it's not. You know, what can you say, Si? Oh, brilliant. Let's have a look.
I'm lucky. I'm lucky because she collects as well now. So
what does she collect? What's she getting?
I told her all the Stephen King stuff. I mean, books.
All the Stephen King stuff, yeah.
I bought a lot of first edition Stephen King books. I bought a first edition Shining a couple of years ago, which is 1977.
Right.
Yeah.
And they sell and the first edition Carrie, which
love Carrie.
They sell for, they cost a fair bit of money. But
might explain why Keith's playing with Bill.
I think no Bill smells like tuna.
If
my Playmobil smelt like tuna, then my cats would be constantly running off of it.
So TJC sent us a picture in Culture Cast this morning in Bry's group, and there it was, all these tubs and so forth. Brilliant. Yeah, exactly. This is it.
I actually got a horror figure today, which is pretty cool.
Oh, well, let me make you big. Hold on a sec.
What's that?
I got the new Lily Monster.
Oh, wow.
Did you watch that movie? Did you actually see it? Did you watch it?
No, but I just like this figure. When I've waited a long time for this to come out. It's been on a pre-order for a while.
Is that the same people that make the like the Pennywise figures and stuff like that? Is it?
NECA,
NECA, yeah.
Yeah,
very, very fragile, aren't they? If you try and take them out of the box, they can snap so easy. But
I've only keep them like this. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's nice little art. They always come with a nice full coloured box. It's displayed window. I wonder what do we really need to take it out for, really?
Yeah. I bought a few of those for Cat, like the different the original Pennywise and then the new Pennywise. I mean, that one behind me there, that's the new Pennywise.
Right.
But I think the original is Tim Curry is just a fantastic actor, and his depiction of Pennywise was superb.
Yeah.
Look at that. I'm sure I saw Pennywise just make them all freaking out.
Watch what'll happen. A cat will get behind it, knock it, it'll roll forward, it'll hit me on the back of the head. I'll have a fucking heart attack, and you'll have a death live on screen. Live on.
Look, I explained that I spend less on tools and toys than she does on shit. Yeah, but mate, you're never going to win that argument, are you, G-Force? I haven't won it in 20 years. It's and it always makes me laugh because she'll go, "How much have you spent this month on this and that?" And then you turn around and you try to defend yourself and you go, "Well, how much have you spent on bags and makeup?" Oh, worst thing you've ever said, Si, especially in this house. Yeah, you might as well just told her to F off. Do you know what I mean? So, by all means, collect the toys, but don't watch the movie. Ooh, Lily Monster. Used to watch a few months. Is that from the new film? Sorry, is that from the 60s show, Si?
From what I guess it's from the new. It's the new one because it doesn't really look like the old one.
That's what Zombies misses. Did you know that? That's what Zombies misses. Yeah. So she played her.
It's just I like it a lot. I think it's cool.
That logic work out for you, G-Force. How did that work?
Who was the original Herman Munster? That was what was his name?
Fred Summit, wasn't it? Fred
Gwynn. Fred Gwynn,
yeah.
Because he was also the old boy in Pet Sematary, the original Pet Sematary, the Stephen King film.
So
Yes, he
I'm
was.
gathering you and your missus are big horror fans, then, aren't you? You like all this sort of horror stuff and that kind of thing.
I do, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I'm you know, I'm it, but she's yeah, she's a massive Stephen King fan. So yeah, I mean, I used to read a lot in my younger days before the internet. I used to read a hell of a lot. So
Yeah.
if I'd go on holiday, I'd sit on a beach all day and then sort of eat and drink all evening. In that 2 weeks, I'd get through probably about 4 or 5 books in 2 weeks. You know,
Brilliant.
Yeah, they're great books, though, aren't they?
Nice, Jace.
I've got, I mean, between us, we've got hundreds of books upstairs. Again, in the office stroke horror room, there's hundreds of books because I've never read an ebook or whatever they're called, and you know,
I can't do it. I like reading physical. I'm the same as you. I like reading physical ones.
Yeah, book
I
in
always
your
forget
hand.
where I am with audio books. You fall
Yeah.
asleep, don't you? You're like, oh bollocks, where was I? Do you know what I mean? So,
but for me, part of the fun or part of the enjoyment is having that thing in your hands.
Yeah.
And you know, daft as it sounds, but the smell of it, I mean, like the smell of old
no, it's not
toys,
that
the
at
smell
all.
of new books, the smell of old books. And I used to be a Zulu War historian. I belonged to a society. I was their publicity officer for their quarterly magazine. And we used to research and we dedicate graves to sort of people that fought at Rorke's Drift, and you know, all the battles. You know, you've seen the film Zulu, so it's all centered around.
Great movie. The stars.
And I did that for many years. And I've got a couple of books upstairs. I've got quite a few books that are signed by the authors because a bit like this community, the Zulu War community is quite small, whereas you all tend to know each other. You know,
everybody knows everybody, yeah. And if you don't know him, you know somebody that does, don't you? That's the other thing.
Absolutely, yeah. So I've got quite a few books that are signed by the author, including one book that's co-signed by the Welsh actor Kenneth Griffith, who was in Wild Geese. He played the camp medic in the film Wild Geese.
Yeah.
And he also played the radio operator in the original Titanic film, A Night to Remember, in 1954. He's the man responsible for sinking the Titanic. And I've met him a few times. Met him a few times. Lovely guy. Sadly, he died quite a few years ago now, and I didn't hear about it until it was too late, so I couldn't go to his funeral. But I've been to his house many times. And he was suffering from Parkinson's disease at the time, so his autograph in this book is very, very sort of like not. It doesn't look real. Basically,
I know. But at least you still find it, yeah. Yvonne Di Carlo was the original wife of Herman. I remember her. That was great. The months we grew up with all that stuff, though, didn't we? The Munsters and you know what I mean. It was never up, was it? Beverly Hillbillies. I love that kind of thing. Let's have a look. Hey, Gap. No, we've got 1 more minute. I'm just going to get to the bottom of that, and then we're about to get into all the tubs. So let's have a look. Am I the one? I am the same. Lover. Yeah, I'm the same way. I think that's why we all collect toys, or we all collect what we do because we like that. You know what I mean? That physical medium in our hands, don't we? Whether it be books or toys. Hey, Reynolds.
Because for me, an ebook, like an ebook or whatever they're called, it's like us being toy collectors.
Yeah,
you know.
Do you remember that when they tried to do that, collect stuff on your phone, and it's on your phone? I'm like, what? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could never have done that. They made this big deal, didn't they, about collecting cards or stuff, but it's on your phone. You know, what's the point? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I do remember that. I ordered stuff to go to my brother's house, grab it in the week, get it in the room, and say, no, it's not new, love. I've only just managed to get it on this way. Very good, Luke. Very good. I agree. Pleasure of holding it in your hands. Having the book in your hand, then down your trousers as you smuggle it out of the library. So that's how he did it. Absolutely brilliant. Everyone's saying hello to each other. Oh, this is superb. BOE. Reynolds saying hello. The Addams Family was another great comedy. It was brilliant. I loved all that sort of stuff. Simon did a really cool picture of Morticia Addams once. It was awesome. Does Keith have any toys from the 70s, 80s cop shows?
Yes.
Oh, that might be a bit of an inkling, that VTR. Hello to all the chats hopping. Yeah, it really is hopping. It's fantastic. Right, so Keith, we're going to start off. We're going to make you big, my friend. So we're going to put you right there, and you show all the chat what you've got. This is going to be awesome.
Right. Well, I'm going to open this. Going to open this crappy under the bed tub first. Under the bed. Under the bed. There are. Oh well, as expected, there are some bits. Oh, this is in there. This is something that is sort of an old corgi.
Oh yeah.
Mounted police. This is absolutely mint. This has not been out of the box.
I mean, just a little bit bigger for that one. That is superb.
An old corgi. It's got the rider. The rider on the halls. And this is interestingly, this is actually done out in Leicestershire Constabulary livery. If I can get that closer.
Yeah.
That's done out in Leicestershire Constabulary livery, which is the same as the Action Man motorcycle, and it will be the same as the police Range Rover that I'm doing.
No way! Look how white that car stayed as well. It's the white's still perfect. It's not gone yellow at all. Like, looks unbelievable.
It's stayed in its box. So because all of my die-cast vehicles, they're all out on display.
Yeah.
And they're all out the box. So unfortunately, they do get dusty. They get damaged. They get wings broken off of them. But I've got a few bits that are right. I've got that as well. That's from the TV show, The Bill.
The Bill, brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant.
That's not been out of the box.
What motor is that?
That's a Vauxhall Omega area car.
Look at that.
Vauxhall Omega.
But they never used Vauxhall Omegas in the Bill. They used Cavaliers or Vectras. So
I never knew they made anything for the Bill merchandise.
Oh, they made 12-inch figures for the Bill as well. And they actually made a motorcyclists, like traffic cops.
Yeah.
Even though you very rarely see traffic cops in the Bill because it was about a station, not a traffic unit. But they also built a solid great big Volkswagen van in 1/6 scale or 1/6 scale ish.
Yeah.
Like a riot van. And
12-inch DCI June. Burnside. Can you imagine being men on it all set up?
I never knew that. What years were them though? Were they like late 80s, early 90s? The Bill figures?
No. These would have come out. I mean, I'm not sure about this one. Actually, there's better be a date on it. It's not going to be that old, to be honest, mate. This is Richmond Toys.
Richmond Toys, right?
1999. So
late 90s.
25 years.
Yeah.
25 years old now.
I mean, it's not that old. It's still 25 years old.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. When I first did mine, so right, I'm pulling these things out and I'm going, oh, they're not that old, 2004, 2005. But then I'm thinking that's 20 years ago. You know,
it is, yeah. It's weird.
It's got to catch up, hasn't it?
I was thinking about that a couple of weeks ago. They were showing some clips of the 2006 World Cup. And I was like, whoa, they've over. And then I realised it's swimming 15 years ago now. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so strange that how it goes dead fast.
When you hear people talk about sort of like the 80s, you think like I joined the police in the 80s.
That's what I mean. It's like, you know what I mean? I've still got my shirt from Kylie and Jason's wedding. Oh, brilliant.
They sign it especially for you.
Oh, brilliant.
Dinky Toys. It's a Dinky Toys Ford Zephyr police car. And that is from the 60s.
Man.
But this is one that I bought it absolutely bashed to pieces, and I stripped it all down and restored it with new decals, new roof box.
You're so talented, mate. You really are. That looks awesome. That looks really cool.
Yeah, it's an old. Thanks, mate. Yeah, it's an old. That was, even though it wasn't sold as such, but that was that came out. Dinky brought that out because that was the sort of car that was being used on the TV series Z cars.
Yeah.
So that is Dinky Toys' unofficial Z cars sort of tribute vehicle, if you like.
Can let me ask you both a question. Do you not think Z cars is probably the greatest theme ever?
No.
I'm just saying. Do you not think it? I don't know why I'm saying it. I'm just saying I think Z cars is probably one of the.
I know why you're saying it, Shabby. I know why you're saying it.
I do. I think I think the West Ham Blowing Bubbles is a better song than the Zed Cars one. I will say that.
Here we go. Toy. Go on, Keith.
Oh, go on, mate. Carry on.
I was going to say toys from the Bill show are rare and expensive, but don't tell Keith's better off. We'll tell him it's like
I don't actually collect any of that stuff, to be honest. apart from that one car there.
It's unbelievable.
I don't, because I can do Action Man kit bashes that are not being big headed, but I can do Action Man kit bashes that are better than 12-inch figures that they sold.
So them Action Men behind you, just to come away from your tubs just a sec. They're all ones that you've actually done up a well and customized a couple of them and so forth.
The Canadian the Canadian Mounties, these guys here.
Yeah.
These are actual Action Men. One's a 72 Action Man. That one's a 66.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
The horse is a 40th anniversary reissue, so it's Action Man. And the dog.
VTR's favourite them. VTR loves them.
Yeah, VTR's a big fan.
The Metropolitan Police horse and Foot Patrol Bobby, which you can't really see, unfortunately, because of all these.
No, it's fine. It's coming through fine, Keith.
The uniform on him, on the horse rider, I customised that. I put the sergeant stripes on it. I built the medals for him. I built his leather sash. I built all the bridle and the saddle for the horse. The horse is a 1964 Thunderbolt, Mark's Toys Thunderbolt horse that was that I bought off of Alan Dawson, who's a huge Palatoy Action Man.
Yeah, we've seen Alan on APD's channel. We've seen Alan on that.
Yeah. Alan's a lovely guy, a really lovely guy, a very knowledgeable man too. And that uniform there, there's a chap on one of the Action Man groups that 3D prints and flocks the Bobby's helmets. So the Bobby's helmets come from him. And the uniform is an Action Man motorcycle rider's uniform. But obviously the trousers were like wide and motorcycle trousers. So for the trousers for the Foot Patrol Police, if you like, you have to get ordinary Action Man trousers, and I dye them black, and I do a lot of that with the shirts as well. I'll dye the shirts pale blue. I mean, you can see these two figures just over my shoulder.
Yeah.
One's wearing a white shirt, one's wearing a blue shirt. They're both Metropolitan Police figures. One's from the 80s and one's from the 70s. Because in about 1977, the Metropolitan Police went from wearing blue shirts to wearing white shirts. And so that's those two figures there depict the crossover.
Awesome.
And the thing was, I said because Tony Roberts from Analog Toys is a very good friend of mine, very good friend of mine, lovely guy, very knowledgeable. He's helped me out enormously over the last few years with some really difficult times.
He's a nice guy. I spent the night with him at Joe Fest, and he was a lovely bloke, really nice fella, really nice,
really top guy, and as you know, he's a massive Action Man collector, and I said to him I'd like to start collecting Action Man again one day. But I said, because the problem is Action Man is such a huge sort of, how long's a bit of string?
Yeah.
You could go on forever. You could end up with like hundreds of figures, and you could end up with like a dozen vehicles, and I haven't got that sort of space. And I said, well, originally all I'm going to do is I'm going to collect the police figures. I'm going to collect what I had as a kid, which was the motorcycle policeman and the rider, the Canadian Mounted Policeman and the Royal Military Policeman, and then I maybe collect the G.I. Joe military police. And And now, 45 action men later.
Awesome. Yeah, I've always said to say every time Si goes to Toy Fair, I always say, we had action men because my memory was like that. And Si said, no, you remember the bike and sidecar and the Jeep and the tank? And I'm like, of course I do. And all that. But there was always a figure. I remember it had the captain's cap on with like a red band on it. It was like a greenish, always military sweater and a sidearm. And I loved that. It was eagle eyes. It had obviously the scar. And I love that. And I always say to Si, every time you go out, find one. TJC asks Keith, do you have a Rover S? I haven't got my glasses on. SD1 police car.
Yes, I do. What in miniature form? Yeah, I do. I've got quite a few on display. Yeah, I've got the Metropolitan Police used them as area cars and traffic cars.
Yeah, in
the late 70s and right the way through the 80s. In fact, when I joined, we was using Rover SD1s as our area cars and traffic cars. I've actually sat in many SD1s racing up and down the A13 chasing bad guys.
Why is Keith staring at us? Van der Valk has a great theme too. They are the Van der Valk.
Yes. Yeah.
Amazing display. It is though, isn't it? I mean, look at that. It's just superb to look. Especially, I think it is for me, Keith, because as you know, I'm an Englishman that lives abroad, and so when I go to toy fairs and so I've told this story thousands of times, but I don't really see the stuff that I mean. If we do see it over here, it's very rare to see something like an Action Man or an Action Force or something like that. So looking at your collection behind you, it just takes me way back. I'm like, wow, that is just awesome. It really is. That police car looks brilliant. How bad was it? It means before the restoration. How bad was it?
Oh, it was a toy from the 1960s, so it had severe paint loss. It had one of the bumpers missing. The blue light on the top had worn down to nothing, so it just needed a complete. I used a special model filler to fill in any sort of digs and dinks, and then obviously sand it all down, and then respray it, give it an undercoat, then a top coat. There are places where you can go direct to Dinky. They still supply.
Can you? I just think he's still going. Did you know that?
Yeah, you can. I'm not sure if it's actually Dinky Toys, but it's a company that specialises in replacement parts. And some parts are original and some parts are 3D printed, but they're very, very well done, very, very expertly done. But I've got all the paints here anyway, and I use those Molotow chrome paint pens, which are absolutely excellent. I mean, they make your chromes actually look like chrome. They really do give you a mirror chrome finish. They are absolutely brilliant. They're expensive, but they're worth it for modelers.
I remember VTR on one of his videos went through a list of all different chrome pens until he found a good one. So yeah, there's ones like you said that look exactly like chrome, isn't there? So he loves those mounties. Yeah, they're awesome. They really are. Is it me or am I seeing the theme in his collection? Yeah.
These guys here, this guy here, this is a German Action Team Joe, I think they were called. Which is the European market for Action Man. They look exactly the same as Action Man, but it's the European market. And they did this German police motorcyclist, but what they didn't do was a German police motorcycle.
Right.
They had something that they tried to palm off as a German police motorcycle, but it was really a really crappy sort of blow mold, just really cheap and nasty looking. And they're hard to get hold of now, and they're quite expensive. But they just look shit, to be honest. Compared to the uniform is absolutely immaculate. But so the motorcycle is actually a Tamiya 1/6 scale model kit. And it's of a BMW in German police livery. So, and that in itself is bloody expensive. So I bought the model kit, put it together, and the Action Man fits on it nicely. The guy standing next to him is a standard German Polizei patrolman, and that uniform is a complete custom. That's a complete custom and kit bash, just dyed dyed Action Man clothes, custom belt, German infantryman hat that's just been repainted and rebadged.
It is funny, isn't it, that we're talking about 70s and 80s Action Man, you know, the 12-inch ones, and the amount of detail and quality. Now you'd pay the hot toys now, basically, aren't they, Si? Do you know what I mean? If you're getting that sort of quality, you know, you're looking at 250 quid. It's unbelievable, isn't it? That's one of the things I loved about that. I'm a big fan of, I think that's why I like Playmobil so much, is because I'm a big fan of little details, little things, even, you know what I mean, accessories and Action Man basically was like your bigger version of Playmobil. You know, it came with everything, didn't it? So I love it. That display is awesome. Hey, Scuba P.
Hello, Scooby. Hello, Scuba, mate.
Scooby's here. Everybody's turned up. This is nearly 40. It's unbelievable already. Let's have a look. I could have sworn I saw Pennywise Winkles. Is that the one I'm talking about? The Action Man Commander? Yeah, it's funny because, like I said, I was like, Action Man, I can't. And our site sent me pictures of us all in the back garden playing with all these Action Men and all these.
One night when he was on here, I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah. When he was like, it's one of my favorite. I think that's what my love of 6-inch and 7-inch figures are, was because as a kid, my favorite figure was Action Man. They were multi-posable. The gun actually fitted in the hand. I love the way they sat in the vehicles and everything. Because even though I did like Star Wars figures, they were disappointing to me to go from Action Men, which were fully articulated, to figures that just, you know, move like hands up and down. And I always wish they were a bit more like, you know, G.I. Joe were, or Action Force were.
Our Des said, I'm glad Keith hasn't mentioned his West Ham figures at the back.
I've got just behind Pennywise's head, on the other side where the lifeboat man is, the lifeboat. Because what I've actually got there, which you can't really see, but if I turn this around, you can see. That's an Action Man lifeboat that I built.
Oh, let's make that big. Hold on a sec.
That's the Royal National Lifeboat Institute.
Look at that. That is unbelievable. How cool is that?
I printed the flag as well on a fabric paper, so the flag's actually printed fabric.
Wow, and
unbelievable. There's four figures in there that are in original Action Man Royal National Lifeboat Institute uniforms from the 60s. So,
Keith, did you ever shout, "You're surrounded by armed bastards," to quote Gene Hunt?
No, because I was never firearms trained. So no.
Right.
You know what? I've always said this. I've got two massive regrets, right? I did 20 years in the police, right? My two massive regrets. I never ever got to say, "You're next, me old son," right? Hello, Jack Regan from the Sweeney. And more importantly, what I would love to have said, what I would absolutely love to have said to some young scampy tearaway scumbaggy thuggery type.
Yeah.
Stop in the name of Scotland Yard.
Yeah.
Stop in the name of Scotland Yard. Like they do in the old 50s films. You know, and this fucking robber is about 200 yards down the road, and as soon as he hears "Stop in the name of Scotland Yard," he goes, "Oh, blimey, governor, it's you got me bang the rocks, you have."
Brilliant.
Leslie says she's going directly to Dinky. Wonder what she means. Not sure about that, Scoop.
I thought Leslie was used to Dinky by now.
That definitely deserves it. Brilliant. I remember having the Action Man American Jeep with bazooka on the back and the half-track armored carrier with searchlight made by is that Cherry?
Yeah.
Cherry, sorry. Great times.
I had the Jeep and the bazooka. I'd never had the half track. I always wanted the half track. Yeah.
I think the majority of us lads, especially the Brits that were in it, because I know Scoobs likes his Joes and whatever, but I think most of us had Action Man, didn't we? I mean, it was just a common thing, wasn't it? Action Man when we were kids.
I've got the GI Joes. I mean, so I've got some of the European ones, which is like Hipper Man. The Spanish version was called Hipper Man. So
right,
I've got this.
Is that what Kieran's saying there? Action Man, and is that Gaper or Hipper Man? That I can't read. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that side.
Mint.
Yeah.
What?
And that's this motorcycle here.
Yeah.
And that's a Moto Guzzi motorcycle for the Spanish market, but the decals are in police in English.
That is
But it says
unbelievable.
Moto Policia. Well, I wanted to do a Guardia Civil, like the Spanish state police. I wanted to do a Guardia Civil bike, so that's what the decals on there are all my own, and the two uniforms, because they never made a Guardia Civil guy back in the 70s, so both those uniforms are custom made by me as well, including the hat. You know, the old the hats they used to wear with the trico, like the leather.
Yeah.
Have a look, glossy PVC hats. That was quite fun.
This is why we wanted you on, mate. This is why we wanted you on. Unbelievable. What does Gap say? Shabby, you like little things. Yeah, because it fits better.
Yeah.
At our age, we need traction, man. Yeah, I know.
In my case, inaction, man.
Yeah, Keith's made customized and made loads of this stuff. I need G-Force. It's unbelievable, honestly.
I mean, obviously, I'm not making them from scratch. They're customs.
No, but to put it all together, it's like what you just said then about dyeing those shirts and pants and stuff like that. That's something I would never even think of, you know. And that's what I mean. I don't blow smoke up anybody's backsides. And when I see your work, honestly, from the Chips Playmobil to the Night Riders to the Action Man to the new Land, the Land Rover you're doing now, it's just ridiculous how good you are. It really is.
Well, the chips.
Yeah, they do need to bring them back. So what's next, Keith? What are we showing next?
Well, actually, funny you say that, because you just mentioned it. So it's the.
Oh, look at them, Si. Look at these.
It's the chips.
Yeah, look. But Keith made them, Si.
Brilliant.
They are so cool. They are so cool.
Yeah.
They're so super cool. So what actually did you do to them then? What tell the lads what you did.
Well, the figures are just basic figures.
Right.
And I just repainted them in a tan, and then drew on the pockets, drew the blue stripes down the side of the trousers.
Oh, cool.
Put the gun belt, put the gun holsters on them. They were police figures to start with, so they had the fixture for the holster.
Yeah.
The biggest effort was trying to get a Hispanic figure to do an accurate punch.
Right.
I had to make sure they were wearing sunglasses as well, because that wouldn't have worked. And just to be completely anal, I made sure their glove colours were the right colours that they wore in the TV series.
Tangles, yeah.
So cool. So cool.
And the motorcycles were a standard 1970s Jobra Playmobil motorcycle.
Yeah.
That I just Frankensteined and changed bits about, put all my own decals on it, and all my own paintwork, all my own decals, and put the red lights on the front. Unfortunately, I couldn't have them flashing because it's just too small to fit any electrics in there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when I've done that, I was like, well, you've got to have the sergeant, ain't you? So I did the sergeant, and he's wearing the more traditional sort of hat that they wear.
Yeah.
And again, you notice the little badge that he's wearing on his breast. That's a decal, very tiny decal. So is the badge on the hat.
Yeah.
And then of course, I just took a Playmobil black and white police car and then Frankenstein that into a CHP car.
So what I mean, Si.
Yeah,
so
brilliant.
Cool. So especially that, I mean, like I said, I love my Playmobil, so that is absolutely fantastic. Hey, when you do this Playmobil shed, when you get it all, do you think you'll be making videos on it, or to stick on your actual page? Because we'd love to see you. You know.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people have said to me that I need to film it. Progress of it. I mean, to be honest, I haven't got my own YouTube channel, and daft as it sounds, I wouldn't have a clue how to even go about doing a YouTube channel.
Oh, it's easy, mate. If me and Si can do it, anyone can bloody
I
do
don't know, like you say that, but I don't have a YouTube channel. It's easy for me because I leave you to it.
Yeah, yeah, but no, you've got to, yeah. Well, it'll be fascinating looking at that,
and the editing and all that. The editing. I mean, I played bass in bands for many years. Give me a musical instrument, and I can fiddle with that. I can make that work. I can put that together, and amplifiers, mixing desks, all that stuff, music, I'm fine with that. But anything like this, I'm just forget it. I'm an absolute techno-tard, totally, completely.
Keith, Wind asks, Keith, did you ever say evening all?
Oh, of course.
Evening
Of
all.
course he did.
Hello.
Yeah, they were for vehicles and play sets. Yeah, they were. It was a really old school thing. It really was. Keith, did you ever say book him, Dano?
No, because I used to police in London, not Hawaii, and I never knew anybody. I never worked with anybody called Dano, and we don't book them. Just
yearning for a guy called Dano. Please, let me be the one. Being in the water for hours doesn't help. That's right. That's right. The 90s one just fell off me, Kieran. Let's have a look. Keith or Dick Van Dyke Cockney, which is better? Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, Keith, he's proper Cockney, isn't he?
Obviously mine, because I actually was born in East London, whereas
Dick proper East End, didn't he?
Hey, George.
Worst Cockney accent in the history of Cockneyism, that is.
Yeah.
Oh, governor. Yeah, it was terrible.
Oh, Mary Poppins, you chicken shit motherfucker. Samuel Jackson could have done a better fucking job than him. Anyway, I've just found this. Anyway, Kieran and all you other bastards that are asking me questions. I've just found this, or more to the point, my wife did.
Oh, is that the one we were looking for before? Let's have a look.
This is the one that we were looking for. I want to show you something there. I don't know if the camera can see that.
Yep.
Oh my God, we've got another one here. There's another one.
Now, I left school in 1986. So God knows how much the fine is going to be on this bastard.
Library Mafia
police officer. Oh my goodness gracious.
Cumberland School don't even exist anymore, so fuck them. I'm keeping it.
You know, Mark, we're going to have to start a new show, Mark. Library book thieves. So what books have you kept?
It's called photographs of the unknown. So they would never have known who nicked it, which is quite ironic, really.
Absolutely brilliant.
Unknown, you and Adam Berry.
Off the shelf, disappeared out the window in the library.
That's so
brilliant.
Wynn said, I just got stopped by the police the other day. The officer said, please blow into this bag. He said, why? The officer said, my chips are hot.
Well done, Wynn.
This is an absolutely true story. A mate of mine, I did an attachment in the traffic police. You know, the old white hats and the yellow jackets.
Right.
Everyone wears yellow jackets now. And we had this old boy, proper old traffic cop, and we're chasing this. We're not chasing, but we're following this Sierra down the Barking Road in through Plaistow in East London. And so he's put the lamps on, give him a tug, stopped him. And he's gone over to him. I haven't said a word. I'm only like a sort of, I'm bowing down to his seniority, basically. And he's gone over and he's tapped on the windscreen and he said to the driver, having trouble taking off, are we, Wing Commander? And the bloke went, don't be a cunt, can't you cheers? Can't you see I've just landed? And I'm absolutely pissing myself laughing. And this old boy's just gone turned around and walked back to the car. Got in the car, I'm still laughing. He's gone at me, don't say a fucking word, not a fucking word.
Hey Phil, nice to see you, Phil. Let's have a look. I dare anyone in the chat to say Dickie's better. That's a bit weird, Kieran.
Okay, Kieran.
You're on your own there. Just when we thought collections couldn't get any better, Keith shows up. This is what I mean. Every week we see somebody else's different stuff and this is perfect. It really
But you know what blows me so far? That none of this that anyone's been showing so far is on display. This is what I'm on about, what was in the tubs.
Yeah.
None of it is on display.
Yeah.
What's hidden.
That's what
this has got this as well. This is a Playmobil sort of place with a bit of a cobweb hanging off of it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And it inside this. I keep on forgetting that I've got this. Or I did these. You remember? I don't know if you English guys remember the TV series Heartbeat.
Yeah, of course we do.
Nick Berry.
Nick Berry. Heartbeat.
Yeah. Well, I did a Playmobil called Jeremiah Greengrass, and including Alfred, his dog.
Now, if anyone says that looks like Shabby, there's going to be words. All right. If anyone, Shabby's got his own play.
I did the Tin Man from the Wizard of Oz. He's going to go in my Playmobil city somewhere. He's just going to be sat there in one of the parks.
That's awesome.
I also did this as well. This had to be done. This just had to be done. Hold on a minute. Let me sort you out. I did him and all.
There he is. We found him.
Here I fucking am.
Lobo Valley says, I remember being in Spain back in the late 70s, seeing this copper on a moped. Since he has a submachine gun slung over his shoulder, I think a moped was all he needed.
Yeah, that's going to be the Guardia Civil.
Oh, brilliant.
Roof. I nearly got shot by the Guardia Civil many years ago in Spain on holiday. Because I didn't speak Spanish, so I was on the beach. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm on the beach with this young lady that I've met out there, and we were just talking. Honestly, Your Worship, we were just talking, and both a bit pissed, up, and suddenly there's blue lights everywhere, because there was a hotel a few hundred yards down from where we were, and there's police with dogs and God knows what going around this hotel, and so I've said to her, obviously, because I was in the police at the time myself, so I said to her, well, we better go, we better get out of here because this is looking pretty shitty. And as we're walking back, we've realised that the police have got the road blocked off. There's all these Guardia Civil cars and a couple of Polizia cars.
Yeah.
And as we're walking now towards these police cars, towards the road to get back to our apartments, they've shone a big fucking spotlight on us. And suddenly I've heard this familiar sounding, and someone's got a hat from the back of his chair. He's pointing a sodding rifle at me. And there's some bloke in a brown leather jacket who I assume must have been some sort of detective, but he's shouting instructions. And of course, I ain't got a clue what he's saying. And I'm going, yeah, all right, mate, lovely job here. I'm an English policeman. It's all right. You don't. I'm all right. I'm not a bad geezer. Well, this lass that I was with, she was living out there. She was living and working out there. And suddenly I've heard this little voice go, he's telling you to stop or he's going to shoot you. When I've looked round, she had stopped about 200 yards away. I said, well, you could have fucking told me that earlier. And he was saying, stop or I'm going to shoot you, apparently.
Oh, really?
They grabbed hold of me, give me all the rough treatment up against this patrol car, give me a quick search down. Here I am in my West Ham shirt and these bright yellow Bermuda shorts on.
Oh, well, you needed arresting.
Yeah, and the only Spanish I could muster was no hablo español, English policia, no hablo español, English policia. And he's just going, fucking hell. I got back to the pub and my old heart was going.
It was, yeah. Hey Andy, nice to see you, pal.
Hey
boys, for those who've been watching, what's the best thing you've seen? What was the best thing we've seen so far? We've seen loads of stuff, Andy. The Playmobil, the Action Man, the Dinky toys, the Corgi toys.
My favourite thing so far was the thing at the very beginning, the Range Rover with the horse car. Because I remember them driving down the side of racing, you know, the racehorses years ago back in the 80s. You used to always see that Range Rover driving down the side of it, didn't you?
Yeah.
That was good to see one of them.
Adam's currently opening sealed trading cards while watching Keith's awesome tubs. There you go. Awesome custom work. It is, though, isn't it? How good is Keith's stuff? It's unbelievable. Yeah. Keith's more likely to say, you're nicked, sunshine. You're nicked, sunshine. Exactly. Keith, have you ever said, love it when a plan comes together?
No. Because very little that I do, I'm actually happy with. So I never actually say that. I'm always. It could be better. Could be better.
This toy community is full of money.
On the subject of Germans, that's a German Playmobil. That's not a custom. That's a German Playmobil police car.
Awesome.
Because Playmobil or Jobra is a German company. It was founded in 1974.
Yeah.
In Germany, and that's why you can buy all kinds of stuff in German markings.
You know, you can barely get it over here. Nowhere sells Playmobil. No, I think the only place. Honestly, it's so weird because I really wanted all that new Asterix set. I couldn't wait. I loved those books as a kid, but they don't sell Playmobil anywhere here. No Walmart, Target don't do it. I think the only place you can get it at is probably Marshall's here and now, but they don't have an aisle, and Barnes and Noble, which is the bookstore over here. But Barnes and Noble's is like really expensive, you know, for it. But yeah, it's really, really strange. And then when you go on Amazon to buy it, and you want, like I said, that sort of stuff, it's all the import tax and everything else. It's an absolute fortune. So
yeah,
he's stealing library books, a new requirement to get on this show. Well, it looks like it now, doesn't it? Second guest in a row. Yeah, it looks like it. I'm a strong believer that if you haven't spent a day on the pokey, then you're not. Oh yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, that's the. I think you've got that, Shabby, haven't you?
If I make myself big a sec, you can just see it right there.
Yeah,
got it.
Yeah.
One of the best things ever. I love it.
So of course, me, you know, me being me, I've had to do the military police car.
That's so cool.
Colonel Decker's military police car.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah.
And then of course I had to do Colonel Decker, didn't I? I had to do Colonel Decker and a couple of MPs. There's Colonel Decker.
Yeah, brilliant.
Now, did you have Playmobil as a kid? Did you actually have it? Because I didn't. Everyone knows the story.
No,
I didn't get it till late on, and then I just fell in love with it. I loved it.
Well, I didn't have Playmobil as a kid at all. I was aware of it, but I didn't have it.
Yeah.
But I've collected some of the police figures, like the 70s police figures. Got these as well. I actually made Colonel Decker a couple of MPs.
Yeah, great.
MPs, and he's even got an M16. This one, look, a Playmobil custom M16.
So good.
So I'll have me when I've got my shed, I'll have my 18. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the Playmobil City sort of in the middle, in the main part of the room, the main part of the shed, and then I'm going to have shelves on the outside, all around on the inside, but around the city. And that's going to be my specialist stuff, like the collectibles. So I can then put the collectibles in there if I want to. I can incorporate them into the city, so I can do like little one-off sort of jokes and stuff.
Unbelievable! I can't wait to see it. A Junkin saw a guy underneath the car last night, and the Junkin said, "What's the matter with the car, son?" The guy said, "Piston broke." The Junkin said, "So am I, mate. So am I. Piston broke." Very good. Very good. There it is. Si, look at that.
Yeah.
That's
great, that, isn't it?
Yeah. That's the Knight Rider.
Oh, that's brilliant. I love those little clips you put up on them ones.
Of course, I have to put all the electrics in.
Look at that. Brilliant.
What was it actually called in the show? Was it the Night Headquarters, or what was it called?
It was called the Flag. The Flag, wasn't it? It was called the Flag. It was the Federation for Law and Government, wasn't it, or something like that?
Yeah.
The thing is, inside the Knight Rider car won't fit inside, unfortunately. So what I did was I just kitted it out like the control room.
Look at that inside side.
Yeah, it's mint, isn't it? I saw this on your Facebook. Yeah, brilliant.
Oh, yeah, that is superb.
And I lit that up as well, so that all lights up.
Brilliant.
Look at lights. You see the lights in it, Si? Actually,
yeah.
I get the bloody things on. Yeah, it's the sort of lights.
Yeah. And it makes you think, doesn't it, that if Playmobil was just to make one of them like they've done with the Knight Rider car,
control room, control desk.
You want to send that in to Playmobil, Keith, and say, I've got an idea here. Could be multi-millionaire behind it here.
Well, apparently that's what some people did originally that made them come up with these ideas. Apparently,
Well, you're an
that's
idea
brilliant that
company,
they've done
aren't you?
it.
Like Lego is, and Lego always submit ideas to fans and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at the pop culture they've done. I mean, Ghostbusters, you can say, yeah, you know, the new movies, but the Magnum one, the 18 one, I mean, they're all aimed at us, aren't they? The James Bond, Aston Martin, obviously the Knight Rider. I mean, I think it's unbelievable what they've done. Yeah, they're a little bit more.
I've got the Catherine bought me the Magnum Ferrari.
Yeah,
that's not long been out. So
that's the only one I need. I've got all the others. That's the only one. So is the Magnum one. VTR asks Keith, which cop TV program do you think is the worst?
The worst. Oh, what are we talking? I mean, we're going to have to be talking British, aren't we? Because I can't really comment on American TV cop programs because I don't really know that much about their procedure. I don't know. The Bill, I would say the Bill, probably the last couple of series, probably the Bill, because they got it
so bad. Is it still going, the Bill? Is it, because I'm not in England, is it still on, the Bill?
It was the longest running police series on TV, but it finished about more than about 10 years ago. But originally, when they first started, a lot of the advisors were actually serving police officers, and they got a lot of all their vehicles from police enthusiasts, police vehicle collectors, like full-size police vehicle collectors. Because I actually knew one of the guys that supplied, and he still actually has got now. He's got the original Sierra One, the full Sierra, Sierra One area car.
Nice.
But what happened was then they had a couple of controversial episodes, and the Metropolitan Police said, "We're breaking all ties with this now. We don't want to know anything about it anymore." And they lost their advisors, and then they started making up their own storylines, and it started getting really shit. So I would say the last series of the Bill was absolute shit.
There you go, the Bill. So Gappy's still on your Spanish story. He says, "Yeah, you were just talking with a lady that you didn't know on the beach, right?"
I did know her. I knew her name.
And then he goes,
She was English.
"Wait a minute. Let me add something else. How could you talk to the woman if you couldn't speak Spanish? Were you using sign language?"
He was English. He was English.
Yeah.
She works out there.
Hi, Mike.
I think Gap's a detective. Never mind a copper. I think he's a detective.
Let's get to the bottom of this story. Do you know what
Mike?
Mike's here. Brilliant. The police had thought Keith was speaking in tongues. This is what happens when you film a porno without the proper papers. Oh, brilliant. Maybe they were frightened by the sight of Keith's truncheon. There you are. So maybe that's what it was, Keith. Look at Andy. What's a truncheon? It's what police have, Andrew.
American police, did they not have truncheons? They had, what is it, the nightstick, was it?
There you go.
That's a truncheon.
There you go.
Do you remember TJ Hooker at the beginning when he used to throw his nightstick and he used to wrap around that guy's legs and he'd go flying? I used to love that beginning. TJ Hooker. Brilliant.
Oh, my brother said, "Hey, Diego, you're surrounded by armed bastards." I only played with Playmobil at friends. Yeah, that's how I did it. Because, like I said, I've told this story, like I said before, we had cousins that had it. And it wasn't until, funny enough, I've just said it was never. Yeah. I think Playmobil for me is avoided because it's never in the stores. But for some reason, the Back to the Future DeLorean was in it, and it was on sale from 50 down to 25. And I thought, I'll get it. I'll make a video on it, and that was it. I would have paid the 50 for it. I was hooked, man. As soon as I got it, I was hooked. I thought, this is awesome. So here we go. My apologies if this has already been shown, but do you also happen to have the Playmobil kit from Knight Rider?
I do, yeah. Well, that lorry that I just showed you, that flag, that is the lorry that went with Kit in the Knight Rider. Kit's up there. I didn't get him down. I can get him down in a bit. That's the Magnum Ferrari.
How cool is that? That's a definite. But it's $83 over here. That 83. Yeah, pricey, but it's awesome. I can't wait to get it. It's all
you've got Magnum.
Yeah.
You've got Magnum, you got TC, and Rick. Was it Rick?
Yeah.
Rick. Then of course you got Higgins. But what they did, They gave Higgins a fucking parrot. What's that all about?
Where's his
Higgins
two
didn't
dogs?
have a parrot.
Where's the dog? What are his
Yeah.
dogs called?
Two dogs.
It was Zeus, and what was the other dog called?
Apollo.
Apollo.
Yeah.
Zeus and Apollo. That was it. Yeah.
So what I did was I just customised 2 Playmobil Dalmatians and turned them into Dobermans.
Men.
And that's
So
Zeus and Apollo.
How cool is that? How cool is that?
Yeah.
So up to 45 watching. Thank you all. How cool is Key stuff? It's brilliant.
What I'm doing now as well, what I'm in the process of doing on and off, I've got a helicopter which I'm going to turn into TC's Island Hopper helicopter.
Yeah, I saw the pictures of it. That is brilliant.
Yeah. So I'm like,
yeah, it's amazing. It's unbelievable.
It just because Playmobil's normally the company that would do something like that. They would make a trailer and make it like with a car to fit in and stuff. And it's funny how they haven't.
Keith, VTR wants to know, how do you paint your costumes? Do you airbrush? Do you brush them?
a bit of both. Spray can mostly. I strip everything down to the bare bones and then spray it. But then for more intricate stuff, I will dry paint or wet paint, but also weathering and stuff like that. I've got various different weathering techniques, and this is probably a great time for me then to lead into this, because this is my Playmobil dual truck. How many of you? I don't know how many of you remember the film with Dennis Hopper?
That is so
good.
This is the same truck that the Knight Rider flag's made from. I've just got rid of the sleeping quarters. The petrol tank, the tanker part is completely custom built on top of a Playmobil trailer.
So cool. Look at that.
Hand printed. And of course, what I've had to do is I've had to build it all and then completely crap it down. So it looks weathered and it looks knackered. And it's got all the number plates on it. As in the original film. And you notice the windscreen as well. I've dirtied the windscreen up, so it just looks like the wiper blades are the only clean part of it.
Yeah.
Mint.
Wow. Wow.
Because I love that film. I absolutely love that film.
Yeah, great film.
GeForce asks Keith, what was that Knight Rider truck originally?
It was a Playmobil big rig. It was a Playmobil semi, or as we call it in the UK, an articulated lorry. It was a Playmobil truck, basically.
It's funny. I would love that. I would kill for that. Anything Jaws related, because I thought Lego was doing something this year, wasn't there, about Jaws? But I didn't know. Oh, look at that side lights up as well.
There is that scene in Jaws where he's helping the school bus, or he's trying to help the school bus, and the truck, the monster truck, appears from just underneath that railway bridge. And as he looks at the truck just goes. So I had to put working lights on it.
So good. Cheers, Kieran. I appreciate that, pal. So he says, Keith, he's in Birmingham the night before the show. Are you going to the Cliff Richard concert? So
Lord, you are not too far away from me, mate. You are only up the motorway.
ET would be awesome also. Yeah, but I think you're right. I think Playmobil Jaws would be something else, man. It really would. That'd be awesome. Hit the like before the live stream started. Well done, Win. Well done. There was a rumor last year that they were trying to reboot the bill, but that hasn't happened. I didn't even know they'd cancelled it. I know it's been going for years, so no, it wouldn't. Yeah. Dino, Jonathan, yeah, I heard the same rumor too. Yeah, ET Playmobil, it'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I'd like that. I think John would like that one he signed, Jonathan.
Oh, I'd love it.
Hey, Ricardo, nice to see you, buddy. Hiya, pal. Jonathan says Playmobil prices really seem to jump once the Classic TV vehicles became popular with collectors. They aimed it perfectly, though, didn't they, Keith? Because we're definitely getting them. I mean, it's like I said, but how they did it, I don't know how. Because Playmobil has never done anything commercial, really. I know they do the Volkswagen, they do the Porsche, they do the cars, but that was only recent. So for them to do all these 80s pop culture stuff that we loved, wow, man, it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, as I say, I think that was probably
Cheers,
from fans' suggestions.
Yeah.
Playmobil do a Mini. They do a Mini Cooper.
Yeah.
And so of course it had to be done, didn't it? It just absolutely had to be done.
Italian job.
So good. Look at that side, Italian job. Brilliant. But there's something else besides these minis that you're gonna show for that. So look at that.
Well, I did the
Oh, the bloody doors off.
There's a little bag of gold bars.
Brilliant, a bag of gold bars, yeah.
And you got your red and your blue driver.
Man.
And your white driver.
Where's Mr. Bridger?
And then you got your remember Camp Freddy?
Yeah.
Wear the pink scarf. That's Camp Freddy.
That's quality.
And you got your Charlie Croak. Only supposed to blow the bloody doors up.
Yeah.
And of course.
Wait to see this, Si. Wait to see this.
You got the old Blag Wagon.
Yeah, well, brilliant.
The Playmobil Blag Wagon.
That's quality, that, Keith.
And that's just an old Playmobil police van that's literally been completely Frankenstein's gold paint. Then they've had to weather it all down.
Super cool.
Super cool. All the armour on the side. The lettering from Hobbycraft, it's like raised lettering, so that's all gone. Painted that in the silver, and of course, because it's got that silly blue light on the top. Don't know why for a security van, but you had to make sure it was flashing. So
that's awesome, man. Awesome. I say you could look at it all day, couldn't you, Si? I mean, like I said, those lads at ZSL, we've followed it for years, all this stuff. It's been brilliant. Look at that. What
impresses me though about you, Keith, is that you can't buy these things. So I love the way you just go, I can't buy them, I'm gonna make them. And I love that. I think that's brilliant.
I would have said though, I won't know where to start. So for example, you want that Italian van. So how do you start with your customizing? How do you know, well, I'll start on that and this is what will work for that and so forth. It's just years of experience doing it.
Because I used to do all those Airfix kits years ago. That's model making to a diagram, so you're obviously following instructions. With these, it's different. I don't write anything down. I don't ever write anything down. It's all there. It's there.
Wow.
And I'll quite often move the goalposts. I mean, don't get me wrong, it doesn't all go swimmingly. I mean, I make so many balls ups and I have to start again because I'm quite impatient. That's the problem. With something like that, for example, my sister-in-law bought me that. She bought it from a charity shop. It was a battered old Playmobil police van. Well, I've got all my police force for my Playmobil City. I've got that all sorted. I didn't have room for another police van. So, and that didn't have any working electrics on it or anything like that. And it wasn't complete. So I just thought, well, what am I going to do with it? Well, I had the Mini Cooper that Catherine had bought me, and I wasn't going to custom that. I was going to leave it as a Playmobil original Mini. But I'd always toyed with the idea of, wouldn't it be nice to do the Italian job minis, But at 50, 60 quid a piece.
Yeah, they're expensive. Yeah,
it's an expensive custom because you can't just do the one. You've got to do the three. So I said, you know what? I'll have a go. In for a penny, in for a pound. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. It's a Playmobil sort of charity shop find.
Yeah.
I'll have a go at doing the bullion truck from the Italian job, and then. So just by looking at photographs of the actual truck, stills from the film and stuff like that, that's what I ended up with.
Brilliant.
Just think of the scenes that are going to be in your Playmobil City when you do. You have these
Yeah,
little
yeah.
scenes everywhere. It's got to be awesome, man. It's got to be
Well,
awesome.
I've got
Yeah.
Scooby Doo. I've got the Ghostbusters. I've got the
Yeah.
A-Team. I've got Chips. I've got the Emergent. A lot of people in the UK for some reason don't remember it, but I remember it as a kid. I loved it, and I've watched it on repeats on the internet recently. A TV series called Emergency about the Los Angeles County Fire Department paramedics.
No, I don't remember that one. Emergency.
Yeah,
No.
and it was on TV in the UK about the same time as Chips, probably a bit earlier, about 1972. I think it first came out.
Is there something you really want to do? Is there something that you're just waiting for that perfect piece that you go, right, I want to make this? Is there something you haven't made yet?
Not really. I said that. I think I said that to Stuart when I was on his show a couple of years back.
Right.
I'm doing that. Excuse me. I'm doing the helicopter, the Magnum Island Hopper helicopter.
Yeah. So in other words, he's like something just comes to you. Then you go, right, I'm going to make the Italian job. Right, I'm going to do this. Right, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It literally is just a spontaneous idea. It's like the gremlins in my head. It's like that Range Rover. When Tony sent me that Range Rover, I was expecting to turning it into a Metropolitan Police traffic unit, and sending it back to him. But when I got it, I sent him a message and said, "What do you want me to do with this?" And he said, "It's yours, mate. You can have it for your collection."
Wow, that was nice of him.
Yeah. So obviously, the obvious choice for me would be to turn it into a Metropolitan Police traffic unit, but the original Action Man British police motorcycle, which is that one up there, which is that's vintage. I bought that mint and boxed, and the uniform was carded. The traffic sergeant standing next to him is a custom, but that motorcycle was in Leicestershire police livery. Hold on a minute, I've got to try and figure out if I can plug you in because I'm about to die. I think my lead's falling out.
The license plates.
It's
I know G-Force. It's the little things like that in it. G-Force. The little license plates is on it and stuff like that. Got me wanting to watch the movie Jewel again.
I always.
Oh, that's a good point. Stephen asks, any chance of you correcting the Goliath semi-truck from the Knight Rider next?
Nah, not really. It's because the thing is, where do you stop? That's the problem. When do you end? Where does it end? It's like
exactly.
It's like when I was collecting my 43 scale die-cast police cars. I said that I'd never start collecting American police cars.
Yeah.
If you start collecting American police cars, you will have thousands of cars in your collection, because there are sheriff's departments.
Counties as well. It's like in our county, it's like G-Force. Me and G-Force live in the same state, but we have different coppers, completely different looks, different,
Yeah.
So Jill's one of my always favorites. They always wanted that truck. I mean, it's unbelievable, isn't it? There seems to be such weird casting, Andy. Lovely. Oh yeah, that's right. Liam Neeson's going to be in the new Naked Gun movie, and I don't know. I saw it and so forth, but the thing about those films is that they didn't care. That's what was funny about them, like Airplane and so. If they do it with that sort of humor, then I'm all for it. But if it's toned down, it's not going to be worth it, is it?
Yeah.
What's the scale on those vehicles? The Playmobil, Ricardo. So the Playmobil vehicles. So
Playmobiles are probably about 118 is the best.
Yeah.
118 scale. But they're not suitable for the 18 scale figures, like the sort of Star Wars figures.
Yeah, they're too big. Mm-hmm.
Because the legs won't go in. Don't tell
they
work. They can be displayed with them, but they can't fit in them. Bought that as well. That's a Playmobil sports car hot rod, which I just completely pimped up, repainted it, resprayed it, chromed up all the chromes, and I gave it a special number plate.
What was the number plate?
Yeah.
Very.
I did. Did that custom for it.
Oh, that's awesome. That's super cool.
There it is.
Then that's going to be in that. And of course, the problem with that, again, the gremlins in my head, the problem with that is I had a big bag of fucking Dalmatians.
Then
superb, absolutely superb.
I'm still about 79 short. and you know that the gremlins in my head will mean that I have got to get 100.
You got to get more.
Otherwise, it's not real.
No, after you'd have to get 101, wouldn't you? You'd have to do.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
You need to get another mini and do it green and with a black bonnet. Add a Mr. Bean figure. That's a good idea, Luke. Yeah.
Mr. Bean. Yeah.
And a blue 3-wheeler as the arch enemy. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Impressed. Really well done, Keith. Yeah. Honestly, he's stuff like that, though. He's just awesome. A dual truck and Italian job and all that sort of stuff. Let's have a look. You must have a huge tub to fit those trucks, Keith. He's got one of those big funny tubs. Hannibal was more of an action type figure, though. Leslie Nielsen, he's just those acts that just seems impossible to. I know exactly what you mean. It's been done, hasn't it? So, yeah, you make a good point there, Jonathan. Question for Keith. What's your favourite Playmobil in your collection? And what's your grail piece? Asks our Geek Strong. Either made or never made.
Oh, what's my favourite bit of Playmobil? I don't know. For me, it's a toss up between the Knight Rider truck, because that's the first real custom that I tried. The cars don't really count because I've been spraying cars for years. But the truck, I had to fit that out for all the furniture in the back and then light up all the control. So the flag, I was quite impressed with that. The dual truck, the dual lorry, has come out so well. I was amazed with how that came out, even myself.
Superb.
Yeah.
The emergency paramedic car, that was an ambulance, so I had to literally cut sections away from that with my Dremel, so the whole thing was completely rebuilt with balsa wood and stuff like that. So again, I'm quite impressed with that. I haven't really got a favourite. It's like saying which is your favourite cat or which is your favourite child. I haven't really got a favourite. As for a growl piece,
I don't know. The Airwolf helicopter, to me, what TJ said, that would be cool, because you can imagine what Playmobil would have done to that. That would have been brilliant.
Yeah. An Airwolf. I think an Airwolf's probably going to be somewhere around the corner for Playmobil.
Yeah, I reckon. I don't think they're going to stop doing it. No, I agree, because it's done so well. It's done really, even over here, which Playmobil barely ever sells. It's done really well over here. So
the thing is, I mean, the vehicles. I mean, the vehicles they're doing now, like the minis and the themes that they're doing, are really accurate. They're really well made toys, because that's what they are. The toys, they're not models. But the figures are still crappy. The figures are so crappy. I mean, they really are. But that's part of the love. That's part of the love.
Completely agree.
And the guy, and his name escapes me now, and I'm embarrassed for not being able to remember it. But the guy that actually invented the Playmobil figures in 1972, he was given the job of inventing this new toy for children. And what he actually did was he went into primary schools, into kindergartens, and he said to the children, "Draw me a face, draw me a smiley human face." And of course, what does a kid do of that age? They draw the two eyes and a big smile.
Yeah.
And that's what the Playmobil figures were based on, and that's what they're still based on today. And so Jobra, as a company, have stuck to their roots of being just about toys and nothing else. But the vehicles, they've sort of stepped it up a gear, and done all these themes now. But the thing is, they're still toys, because they're as tough as old boots. I've got the Ghostbusters Playmobil Firehouse.
Yeah.
And I had the Ecto One inside it. Well, a few months back, when we was moving about in here, moving the cabinets about, I picked up the fire station, closed the front door of the fire station so Ecto One couldn't roll forward, but of course, completely forgetting that the back's wide open.
Yeah.
So the bloody thing rolled backwards, and it fell about 5 feet. It's in a wooden floor, and not a thing was broken. not a thing.
I love
Bits
it.
fell off, bits came off of it, just clip them all back together, but nothing was actually broken. So they're toys. They're children proof. They are still child proof.
Yeah, durable. Yeah,
He does. Yeah, that's
what-
nice of you, Ricardo. He does do amazing work on him. He really does.
Oh,
Oh my
thanks,
God,
Ricardo.
you killed a lot of puppies and stocked him in a bag. What's he done to those Dalmatians? You customized 2 Dalmatians to make the
yeah.
what
To
is
make
it?
2 Dobermans,
Dobermans,
cut their tails off and gave them longer ears.
Surely Keith could just make a mummy and daddy Dalmatian and let you take his. I definitely have a favorite child. Hi, Gaz. Nice to see you, pal. Oh, it's good everyone's turned up. Bikers here. This is brilliant. Thank you all.
VTR Dave wanted to know if I had any 70s TV cop show cars. Well, that's a Corgi Kojak Buick Regal from 1975.
Look at that.
That's the Kojak figure. And the Buick is in amazingly good condition. It's got a swing out Crocker firing his gun. And what I loved about these toys is you've actually got a little magnetic Kojak light, which actually fixes on the roof. So he's got his Kojak light. And it's extremely difficult to find one of these now in that condition with the red light. Still.
Yeah, because look at that guy in the back. His arm must come off and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To find one like that.
The red light, and that's 1975. Yeah, Kojak.
Des asks, does Keith have any Asterix Playmobil? Oh, I'd love that stuff.
No.
I would love it. Oh,
no,
I couldn't believe it when they did it all. Me and Thousandth Ghost. I think Chris managed to get hold of some though, but it was me and him over here that was like, "Oh, that's awesome." Do you know what I mean? I'd love any of that. I'd love it. And if you ever did Tintin, that'd be brilliant as well.
I've got pirates and I got a pirate ship.
Yeah.
And I've got a big princess car, like a royal castle. I've got two or three of those, which make a big castle when they're all joined together. And of course, I've got about 10 Grenadier Guardsmen. As well with cannons to all part of the Playmobil city. I have a royal palace in there.
Have you got a name for it yet? You've got to come up with a name for your city, Keith.
Yeah, I suppose so. I haven't really thought about it.
This is it. Myself and Mrs. T are really enjoying getting a Playmobil collection. Honestly, Des, it's funny because I collect Black Series and Masters and all that, but the Playmobil, man, it's funny as well because I've still got loads on there still haven't opened. I'm pissed and moaned to my wife about that Playmobil Scooby Doo mansion. Got it, not the Christmas got the one before. I still haven't opened it yet. I've got nowhere to put it yet, but I'm a massive fan. It's a great hobby, Playmobil. Have they ever done Star Wars Playmobil? No, they haven't, have they, Keith? No, they've barely done any. I think it's only been recent, guys, that they've started getting licenses. I think it was only the last, because like I said, when they started doing all these, I was trying to work that out. Well, I don't remember licenses for Playmobil when we were kids. Maybe like a Volkswagen, with it being a German, and Porsche. I know they did them, but no. And then all of a sudden, boom, here we are.
Yeah.
But you could tell how much those licenses must be because, like I say, there's a difference between a Playmobil car and then a Playmobil Aston Martin car.
I'm wondering if they're ever going to do the Harry Potter series because that would be awesome if they did Harry Potter series. Imagine the Anglia, the Ford Anglia, the flying Anglia.
But they would make a Ford Anglia, wouldn't they, Keith? That's what they would do,
Yeah. They would.
So that's the difference between them and Lego, I think. Lego, I like them and they're awesome, but I prefer Playmobil because they're making the actual vehicles. The Magnum, the Ferrari looks like the Ferrari, and the Aston Martin looks like the Aston Martin. It's superb.
It's a shame that I didn't think of it actually, because in the shed there is a 1/6 scale Harry Potter Ford Anglia that I was going to turn. I bought it months ago and was going to turn it into a police car, but then I realised that an Action Man figure won't fit inside it. It's just too big to fit inside it.
Yeah.
So I turned it back into the Harry Potter Anglia, and it came with a Ron and Harry figures, like 12-inch figures, but and it's supposed to be the flying car, the flying Anglia from that scene, but but the car was pretty crappy. It's a nice model. It's a proper Ford Anglia looking car, but it's pretty crappy. So what I did was I took it all to pieces, sprayed it again blue, plastered it all up, put some windows in it, put a headwig in a cage in the back with some trunks in the back seat.
Yeah.
So he's got his owl in the back, and put all the rust, painted all the rust on it and everything else. Hand painted the whole lot of it, the weather damage, and had it standing on a stanchion, on a base unit standing. So it's about two foot off the ground.
Yeah.
And it's literally hanging in the air, and the passenger door's open, and Harry's hanging out of the door. So it's that scene. It's that scene where, and of course the headlights work, so it acts as a lamp as well. So you put the headlights on, and it acts as sort of a night light.
So cool.
And I'd given that to my oldest daughter for Christmas. She's not taken it yet because she's still doing her place up.
Yeah.
She's an absolute Harry Potter freak, so I did that for her.
Superb. Geeks on Ask. Keith, have you ever said, "Go ahead, make my day," or do you feel lucky?
No, I did actually once have a plastic Kenner Toys RoboCop helmet, which I once wore through the front.
I've seen the picture. I remember that picture.
You've seen the photos, Shabby? Yeah. So the photos exist. The photos.
Yeah, you'll have to stick it up.
I walked through the front office of Dagenham Police Station wearing this helmet. I mean, I'm in uniform, obviously, got my radio, got my raincoat on. I'm walking through this helmet on. I just walked past the station. Walk past the station officer. He sat at the desk, sort of doing what station officers do. And I just looked at him and went, "I need a car," and just walked straight past him. And he's like,
brilliant. See you, Gap. See you later on, pal. Let's have a look. Tell him Jamal has died. Did he die at 72? There you go. Yeah. Great work you do, Keith. He does, doesn't he? Absolutely brilliant.
Thanks,
Can Keith look into the camera and say, "I am the law"?
I am the law.
Yeah.
I had an Officer Dibble t-shirt with "I am the law" on it. Remember Officer Dibble from Top Cat?
From Top Cat, yeah. Hey, Scott, nice to see you.
All right, Scott.
Oh, everyone's coming in. Brilliant. Here we go. Come on, Keith. You need me both. No, if you get a Ford Angler, it has to be turned into Vivian's yellow Ford Angler with flames down the side from the young ones.
That'd be good to do, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would be good.
Yes. I love the young ones. I absolutely love the young ones.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Take care, Gap. Hey, Scott. So anything else to show, Keith? We've got 15 minutes, 10 minutes.
Well, I recently found an old Shirley. Someone mentioned Shirley earlier on. I found an old Shirley green tank in a charity shop for a fiver. So I just tried to turn it into a German tank, painted it grey, took it all to pieces, put an engine on the back.
Look at that.
Panzer.
Unbelievable.
It's a proper Panzer tank. The first Panzer division. Put the shovels on it and painted the lights, but then dimmed them down black for sort of obviously air raids. Put the MG34 on it, printed the flag off, and so that means now I've got to get a German Panzer captain to drive him. So much for me only collecting police stuff. It's now going to migrate into German stuff.
We say that, I'll stop at this, but then you think, oh no, I'll do that next, so.
And then that's the Range Rover. That's where it sits at the moment.
Oh. I mean, now, if you follow Keith, this used to be orange. It was in pieces, and that's it. Yeah, look at it now. That is unbelievable. That's ridiculous.
Tony's going to like that when you finish with it, isn't he? When he sees what you've done.
No, he's letting him have it, Si. He's letting Keith have it.
That's what I mean. When he sees what he's done with it, he's going to be.
He might change his mind, Keith. He might go, actually.
Yeah, can you send it back?
Actually, Keith, I've changed my mind. Look at that.
Mint.
For some bloody reason, the lights won't work. I think the battery's flat.
That's so cool.
How many hours that is?
There you go. Yeah. That's awesome. That is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why that. I'm gonna have to mess about with these electrics because for some reason they're not holding battery power. And yet I've wired up loads of these.
Yeah. I used to make Airfix model tanks. Yeah, Barker likes his Airfix as well, didn't he? He used to do all them when he was.
Yeah, I've seen Salacious. He's gone back to like making Airfix kits and stuff, hasn't he? Yeah, someone do the Red Arrows one the other week and stuff like that. And yeah, great. They like them old model kits. They're brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, he said, Lord Mavali said you could have made the police tank with a battery ram saying, "Have a nice day."
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, man, for some reason these lights not working on this now, so I'll have to mess about with that and rewire it. I think.
But it's so cool. That is so cool. That thing. To find one like that though, no dints in it, no, you know what I mean. It was perfect.
Yeah. Well, I've got. I'm gonna put stuff in the back. So I've got like the water can or the fuel can for the back of it. I've got a vintage Action Man toolkit, which I'm going to turn into a first aid box. And I've also made all the bandages and stuff like that to put in it. So it's going to have the kit in it. I've got fire extinguisher. Got a fire extinguisher in the back. There you go.
So when you go to your thrift shops and your toy fairs and all that, is that what you're mainly looking for as well? Accessories, stuff to, you know what I mean? Little greeblies here and there and stuff like that.
Believe it or not, I've never actually been to a toy fair in my life. Not yet, anyway.
Wow, look at that.
Hazard lamps. Yeah, I've never been to a toy fair ever. I keep on saying I'm going to go to the one up here at the NEC.
They're all going. It's going to be massive this year with this one going. Everyone's going.
Scooters coming over and all that. This is I've got my G.I. Joe. These are my Action Men and my European Action Men, but over there in the corner, just behind Pennywise, because he's not going to be there all the time. I've got my G.I. Joes and they're American military police. So there's only 3 figures in there, so I needed 4. So what I did was recently done this one, and this is an Action Man 50th anniversary, a G.I. Joe 50th anniversary. I've just done him up as a Vietnam MP. So the armband is fabric printed by me. The helmets are custom with the badges on the side. The M16's a vintage Action Man. All the uniform. The flak jackets are a dragon. But then he's got his cigarette and his packet of Marlboro. You know,
yeah, look at his Marlboro inside his top pocket. That is superb.
Sunglasses. So that's the 18th Division US Military Police.
Wow, man.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Looks like Keith has a lot of pride in his stuff. Good work.
That's a great collection, though.
I'm a bit obsessed.
Had loads of airfix. Yeah.
We're all eccentric and we're all obsessed.
That's a good point. Geek Strong asks, Mad Max vehicles would be awesome. Any plans for a custom one of them? That'd be pretty cool to do.
It'd be finding a donor vehicle, wouldn't it? To make the Interceptor out of.
I've got a toy fair the Saturday after. It's 2 blocks away from my house in Glasgow. They are. So Georgie's going for one. Yeah. That's absolutely brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. Anything else to show, Keith?
I have. Oops. What's this over
here? That's what amazes me, Jonathan. It's the detail you put into these model makings.
I would never have put a pack of Marlboro in a top pocket, would you? It wouldn't have dawned on me. So
yeah, I think as far as customs go, that's about it for now. I've got the Squad 51 up there, but I can't get to him because there's crap and boxes in the way. But I mean that's about it for customs. After the stolen library book.
Well, no, perfect. That's awesome. That is awesome. So that, everybody, is Keith's stuff. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Fantastic stuff. Let's have a look. The Batmobile might be a good base for Mad Max. You could do it on that, I suppose. I love the way these lads are telling you what to do now, Keith. They're all like, right, you need to make this. You need to make this. You know what I mean? Brilliant. Keith, can I have your address? I'll send you tickets to a Cliff Richard concert. George, I don't know about that.
Yeah, sure, George. I'll just polish up my sniper's rifle. I'll just give me a sniper's rifle to polish up.
I'm not sure if I should go to NEC in 3 weeks. Yeah, you should. You definitely should. Yeah, be awesome to see everybody there. I wish I was going. I wish I was going myself, but we've got, like I said, Joe Fest coming in June, so it's fine. If he does, George, you'll have to say congratulations. Well done, Keith. Yeah, how cool was that? Seriously, awesome custom work, Keith. Yeah, his work is, and it was worth having him on because, like I said, me and Si were saying, we want to have people with different things that they keep in the tubs and different things that they collect, and so Keith is just unbelievable, isn't it? He's absolutely brilliant. Class act, that, Keith. Great stuff you've showed. Yeah, bravo, Keith. I think we all liked your stuff, mate. Let's have a look. This live stream has been bloody brilliant. So much fun with the chat and Keith's awesome collection. It's just great looking at Keith's stuff. Yeah, it really is. Honestly, it's just like I said, we've known Keith a while now, and I just always love your Facebook and looking at what you've done and what you've achieved and every one of them. I mean, like I said, we show it and then we get to see a sort of fighting like, oh my life, have you seen what Keith's done this week? Look at what Keith's made this week. It's absolutely brilliant stuff. So yeah, great work, Keith. Great work, Keith. Great work. Really looking forward to your Playmobil shed. Yeah, honestly, Keith, you got to do it. Do you feel like setting up Instagram for that though, Keith, and making an Instagram thing? You don't have to do YouTube for that. Instagram's that easy. Just take pictures, put them up, and it's great for us like that because we all prefer that than any of them, really.
Well, I honestly wouldn't know how to. But I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I'll throw this out there. I'm quite happy to film it or get someone to film it. If any of you guys want it on your channel.
Oh, you don't say that. I probably might do it. They'll be like, yeah, I'll have it. I'll have it. Yeah, do it, Keith. Definitely. Yeah, if you ever need help with anything like that, of course we will.
I have a clue how to edit it. So for me, it'll just complete. It'll be a complete raw film. I
think you'd get big on Instagram, man. Instagram is so easy to do. It's off Facebook, you see. So when you say Instagram, it will just say your same as your Facebook. And I think your pictures would do brilliant. But I'm not telling you. I just think pictures. What do you not think, Si? What Keith's Instagram would look like? It'd look amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, all the different pictures you've got. Yeah. Which I'm surprised because now they're all connected to Facebook as it is, isn't it? So you can just move them over.
Cheers, Ricardo. I appreciate that, man. I really do. Okay, don't freak out. There's a bloody $8 moved.
Yeah, its arm's gone from there to there.
Brilliant. It's a big thumbs up, a huge round of applause. I knew it. Keith's one of the boys, though, isn't he? He's a big part of our community, Keith. I said, if you don't see Keith on Facebook and you don't see his stuff, I was saying this to Si, got to get him on because his stuff is just so much work. Even if you don't collect Playmobil, you can't take away from the work he's done. It's unbelievable. So, hi, Reb. Nice to see you, pal. Everyone's turned up to see you, Keith. Local film, like that, just outside the village. Great custom work from one builder. Oppie's. Have you seen Oppie's work? Oppie's been doing it years. His work is unbelievable. Don't forget to tune in this coming Saturday for Gaming Memories, episode 11, with special guest, our Si. You were doing it, Si. Talking Spy on Simon.
Playing Spy on it this weekend. Ding, 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 ding.
Eben Oppie, brilliant. Yeah. So, as you know, I don't know whether you've seen this or not, though, but Simon's giving a thing away. So let me just make Si big a minute. Right there. What are you giving away, Si?
We're giving this away. And the Wheel of Doom.
So Si drew that. It's the Catwoman. And what we've asked people to do is on episode 7s and 8s, if you left a comment on there, you entered for the draw. Well, it's the same for tonight because on Monday, me and Si are going to do the wheel on Monday. So we'll only be about an hour. That's it. So you've got up to Monday to either comment on episode part 7, part 8, or Keith's part, which is part 9 tonight. And then on Monday, we'll do the wheel and you could win that. So it's pretty straightforward. Like I've said before, I know people, whether you want to leave a comment, just write anything. Just write, are you Shabby or are you Si, are you Keith or Catwoman, whatever. Part 7, 8, 9. And then you'll get entered for that. Absolutely brilliant. But this has been absolutely superb. I've loved it. I really have loved it. Let's just get to it a bit. Every episode of TUB Thumpers has been awesome. But this one with Keith has been very special. Oh, that's a nice thing to say, Kieran. It's really nice.
Kieran, thanks, mate.
That is a nice thing to say. Yeah, thanks, Keith. I mean, everyone in the chat. No, thank you, mate, for every week turning up. That's why me and Si do these shows. Like I said, and the same for CSR, because everybody turns up and what is it? Watches or the Wheel of Broken Dreams? Yeah, it's a Wheel of Broken Dreams. Brilliant live stream. Huge thanks to our Shabby. See you all. And we'll finish off with this one. Not at 2 p.m. That's when I schedule Shabby Police. Well, yeah, it's weird for me, though, because our clocks have already gone forward. They went forward on Sunday. So me having to write 4 p.m. instead of 8 p.m. and I'm trying to work it. Hang on a minute. Si and Keith are at 8. So I'm at 4. Just weird little things like that. But yeah, so we'll let you all know. I'll put it out by the weekend when we're going to do it on Monday. And like I say, it's only going to be an hour. But good luck. I want everyone to join in. Anyone can win it. And Si said he's going to do the posting for free. So that's even better. Oh, thanks, Miriam.
When did I say that?
Just subscribe to TJC. Take care, everyone. Yeah, and that's it. That's absolutely brilliant. So, Keith, honestly, mate, thank you so much, man. For sharing your hobby, sharing your collection. You've been absolutely fantastic.
Thanks for having me on. To be honest, I've actually been a bag of nerves all day.
Why? We're Shabby inside.
I know, but what a lot of people don't realise about me is that although I come across as sort of having a deplorably sort of excessive personality, I actually do suffer from quite crippling mental health issues.
Oh, wow.
And one of those issues is social anxiety, and that's one of the reasons why I don't go to toy shows, because it's just too many people. So this for me is therapy, but it's also as scary as hell. So.
Well, it's all the boys, anyway, Keith. That's the nicest thing about mine and Si's show. And I know I'm not saying it to I don't brown nose anybody, but I genuinely mean it. I think this ESR lot that we have, the community that we have, is one of the nicest communities on earth. I could not be prouder of all of them. Do you know what I mean? Because one day all this will end. One day it'll be over, and I can look back and I can say to myself, how nice was our community? We had the best community, and so I'm really, that makes me even more thankful that you came on. I appreciate that a lot now.
No,
cheers. Anyway,
this community. I mean, I'm a relative newcomer, really, I suppose, but probably the last 4 years. This community has just been fantastic. I mean, the support and the love. I mean, you've got your dark side, haven't you? You've got your dark side, which I really try to steer very clear of because of my own mental health. I keep very clear of the dark side. But it's been fantastic, and I've made some great friends that I'm probably never ever going to meet in the flesh, but people that I can honestly say are genuine friends, people that I love as friends.
Mate, you are definitely one of the boys. It won't be the same without you, Keith. Won't be the same without you, mate. So
thanks, mate.
No, definitely. Tub Thumpers helps me get through the work week. Thanks again, chaps. Great Tub Thumpers. Looking forward to meeting you. Looking forward to go to the NEC, Keith. I think I understand with you, but I think you'd be surprised how many lads will come up to you and say, "Oh, Keith, mate, how are you?" They'll all do it. You know what I mean?
The NEC is only up the road from me where I live now because I don't live too far from Birmingham now. So it literally is. Yeah.
You'll meet him. See, you'll be all right. I'm a bit scared for Si though, because he looks like me. He's going to get punched in the face as soon as Shabby, have that, you bastard.
Yeah.
I think everyone loves you, mate. Everyone loves you. Everyone loves you. I'm eternally grateful for you because you shout. You're loud. Everyone moans that you're loud, but I'm deaf in that ear. So I actually appreciate it. I actually take your shouty behaviour as being quite considerate to my business.
Shouty, man. I think what it was because for years I'd done it without a microphone, and I had that thing where I have to just be as loud. But then again, I've got a microphone now, and I'm still loud. So maybe you're right. Oh, brilliant! You did a cracking job. Cheers, Phil. That was awesome. You did a cracking job, Keith. Brilliant.
Thanks,
you've done brilliantly, Keith. Yeah, come to NEC. Yeah, go, mate. You'd have the time of your life. Would your missus ever go? Would your missus ever go with you? Your cat, would she go?
She probably would, actually, because there'd probably be some bits there that she'd be interested in picking up.
You've said that. I don't want to say the name, Si, but you've said there's a couple of wives that have gone, no way, because NEC's everything in it, Simon. So there's a couple of things that everybody likes. Cheers, Steve. I appreciate that, Stephen. Oh, here's my mum. Hi, mum. Brilliant show. Very interesting collection. Yeah, it was, mum, wasn't it? It was awesome what he has. Gerard, brilliant. Great live stream. You won't miss me. I've got an eye patch. There you are. So look for George with his eye patch and you'll be okay.
And Marie, thank you for joining us. Sorry for some of the swearing.
It's all right.
No, she's lived with us for years.
And I was going to say, nothing needs to my mum.
She's as bad as you, Keith. She'd have heard what she called me before I come on here. Don't worry about that.
Can you imagine? Anyway, we are done. Thank you all so much. Don't forget to leave a comment on either part 7, 8, 9 so you can enter for size Catwoman picture. And then basically we'll do that Monday. We'll get together and we'll get it all sorted. But apart from all that, Keith, you've been absolutely brilliant. See you on Friday. ZSR is on my channel this Friday. And then we've got a guest already for... We've got a guest for already for next Wednesday's Tub Thumpers. So we'll be back next week. Wave, boys, wave. See ya.
Shabby. Good night, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Good night, Keith. Cheers for coming, pal.